Hey everyone, my name is Oscar and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to show you how to make a Discord chat bot that is powered by ChatGPT. Basically, it'll just be a chatbot that works on Discord, and what it'll do is it'll send whatever messages it sees to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will generate an automatic response for it and send it back. And this is really useful because ChatGPT is so versatile in what it can do. You can make ChatGPT only respond, for example, to coding questions, and boom, you could have a chatbot that just responds to coding questions on Discord. If, like myself being a computer science YouTuber, if I added him to my Discord, then people can go there and just ask computer science questions. Or you could have it do some other stuff that could also be really cool. Like, for example, you could have Discord translate sentences to different languages if some users wanted to see that. Or you could just ask it general questions. Having such a versatile thing in your Discord server could help. I personally think that in the future, as time goes on, it's going to become more and more popular. I definitely see big companies making use of ChatGPT. Not just on Discord, but I could see, for example, like think of Facebook. You know how when companies respond to complaints, why not have AI respond to those complaints instead of paying an employee to do so? Because those responses are just textbook responses anyways. They're not anything crazy. You could definitely program an AI to respond, if it knows all the bylaws of your company, to respond appropriately. So this is kind of just an introduction to that, where you can have ChatGPT respond on Discord. So in order to accomplish this, you just need to create a couple files. And the first file is to get your Python script, which is how we're going to do this, by the way, with Python. The first file, its job is to just get your Python script to communicate with Discord. The second file is to get your Python script to communicate with ChatGPT. And the third one is just a .env file that is going to keep track of two values for us. One of them is going to be the ChatGPT OpenAI key, and then the second one is going to be the Discord token. Both of these are necessary for us to authenticate with both of these services so that we can use it. Now, as far as Discord GPT, which is going to be the file that interacts with Discord, as far as this goes, it's a relatively simple file that's just going to have two small functions. The first thing you're going to want to do is import all of these things. The first two imports is for Discord, basically importing everything that Python needs to communicate with Discord. And this third one right here is actually just importing the send to ChatGPT function from our second file so that we could use it in this file. And then we have these two imports, which honestly all they're good for in this script is so that we could read from the .env. So really, it's once you have those three things imported, then you can move on and actually generate your script. The first thing that we're going to do is get this Discord token variable from the .env file. And right now it's empty, but when you run this script, you're going to have to fill it in with some values. But at the moment, it doesn't have anything. But when it does have something, this value will take on the value of that token, and we'll be able to use it later to actually connect with Discord. Now, once that is initialized, you only need to run two more lines to actually initialize your chatbot. These two are essentially functions that will allow you to generate communication with your Discord bot via Python. So this function right here is really the important one, where once you call it, you get a bot variable which you can use to do things with your bots whenever it notices that an event has happened. And so this function just has two variables. One is the command prefix and the other one is intents. Intents is essentially just certain permissions that you need in order for your bot to do things. And the command prefix is just a way of telling your bot what kind of messages to respond to. If, for example, I had put a explanation point here, then the chatbot should only notice messages that have a prefix of an exclamation point. And this is recommended by Discord to have in general when you put it in a server, because otherwise the chatbot is just going to respond to basically every single message, which can get a bit confusing. And sometimes you usually don't want that from your chatbot. You want it to selectively respond. So that's what that's for. And once you have the bot initialized, you can use this @bot.event function prefix here, which will run these functions whenever an event happens. In particular, this onReady function is a special function that runs when your Discord bot logs into Discord for the first time. So when that happens, all we're going to do is just print that we've logged in as a bot. And that's it. This is a simple function. You don't even really need it. It's just for debugging purposes so that we can see our bot has successfully logged in. And that's what the onReady function is for. It's basically just so that we can put a print statement and see that we've logged in. Maybe if you want to do some other stuff here, you can. And the other function is the onMessage function, which is the one that we care about the most. Essentially, this function is going to run whenever the event handler sees a message on Discord. And so this is nice because we want our Discord bot to respond to messages. So whenever it sees a message, it's going to execute this code. And obviously what we want it to do is we want it to take this message and have ChatGPT respond to it. So the first thing that we're going to check is to see who the author of the message is. And we only care about that because we don't want the author to be the bot. If the author is the bot, then we want to basically ignore that message because we don't want to be responding to ourselves. We only want to be responding to other people on Discord. If the bot's responding to itself, it's just never going to stop talking. So that's just a check that you put at the beginning of this function to prevent that infinite conversation with itself. After that, you then need to use the function in the ChatGPT file. And this function, all it does is it basically takes this messages array, it sends it to ChatGPT, and it spits out whatever ChatGPT responds. And the messages array, the biggest thing that matters here is this message.content, which is essentially the message that you're reading from Discord, whatever the user sent. Because remember, this function runs whenever someone sends a message on Discord, someone that's not the bot, and when you get that message, you can get the content of that message. You put it in this messages array, and you send it to ChatGPT. Now, this messages array and this send to ChatGPT function is a function that I've covered already in other videos. But to quickly go over it, it's a pretty short function here. And the only things that you really need to do is you need to take that messages array and you use this OpenAI create function to send that messages array to ChatGPT. And you just get a response from it. You can decide what model you want to use, the max tokens, and some other things that you can tweak. But overall, it's just send the message to ChatGPT and get a response. And once you have that response, you basically have to dissect it because it's in an array. It's in like some JSON format that you need to dissect. And once you get the message, you can return that message to our previous function. And once you have that response, all you need to do at that point is call message.channel.send, and this will make your bot send that response to Discord. And once you have that function defined, The thing that you need to do at the bottom of the file is run your bot. This is what actually logs it into Discord. And once it's logged in, it basically has the bot listen in the Discord server so that it can run these two functions. Now, once you have all that code written, don't forget to add your variables to the .env file. This OpenAI key is used in this chatgpt.py here on line 4. I won't go into too much detail about this function, but it is pretty self-explanatory. You just need to do these imports, get that OpenAI key, import the OpenAI library, and run this function, and that's all you need. Now that the code is out of the way, there is some other stuff that you need to do on Discord. You actually need to set up your bot, and I can show you how to do that pretty quickly. Now, in order to use a Discord bot, you actually have to create a bot using the Discord developer portal. This is basically kind of like when you register for Discord, it creates a profile for you and you can log into Discord. It's just kind of telling Discord that this is a user you want to create. This is similar, except this is how you do it for bots. The first thing you have to do once you get into the developer portal is go to your applications and just click on new application. I already created the ChatGPT bot here, but if you wanted to make a new one, you'd click on this, you'd give it a name, and I'm going to call it ChatGPT bot 2 and click on create. So once you create the bot, then you'll be brought to this page, and you can set some general information on the general information page, like setting a profile picture and giving it a description and things like that. I won't do any of that right now, but there's basically going to be two things here that you need to do. The first one is in this OAuth 2 tab, and the general thing that you want to do here is you want to define what permissions you want your bot to have in your Discord server. So you're going to go to general, you're going to click on this drop down here, and you're going to click on in-app authorization, and you're going to want to give the scope of bot. And so here you're going to basically decide what permissions you want it to have in your server. And I would never recommend giving your bot administrator permissions, but in general, you're going to want to give it at least text-based permissions here. You could give it some other stuff depending on your needs, but to start off with, I'm going to give it these text-based permissions. And you'll click on Save Changes. And once you do that, you can now generate a URL for this bot. Once again, click on the scope of bot and click on the permissions that you want to give the bot once again. And once you have that selected, you'll have this URL at the bottom here. And so what you can do is you can copy that and you can paste that here into your web browser, hit enter, and it'll bring you to this page where you need to be logged into Discord using your admin account of the Discord server. But basically, this is to send an invite to the bot with the permissions that have been defined in the URL. And you can add it to whatever server you want, and you click continue. I'm not going to do that right here, but just so you can see, that's one step you need to do. The other step that you need to do that's important is you need to generate a token. So you click on reset token here, and when you do that, you can see that you'll have a token. Basically, this is what you'll be putting into your .env file in your code. And once you have that token in there, your Python script will be able to interact with your bot. And those are the only two things that you need to do. And now I'm going to run the script just to show you that it works. And as you can see, this logged in as ChatGPT is printed, meaning that we can now go to our server and try to talk to it. So this is me already talking to ChatGPT a bit, but I'm just going to ask it a simple question to show that it's still running right now. And as you can see, ChatGPT is still responsive. And You can ask it whatever you want. Like I said earlier in the video, up here I actually asked it to write some code for me for a Connect 4 app, and it started to do it. It did cut off because I didn't give it enough tokens, but you can customize your bot however you want, and it'll respond, and you basically have ChatGPT on Discord now. I hope that was helpful for you. If you'd like to see more videos like this or have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.